welcome to the last discussion of this module. I'm going to be answering question 1 and question 7. Question 1 is what are some problems, issues women around the world face today that you see connections in from this time period? From the first example from the textbook, is the similarities in the way that women deal with the backlash of their own independence and inequalities. The methods used in the original social progression waves in the late 19th and early 20th centuries are very similar to the ones used now. Marches, protests, policy making is a little bit more prominent now than it used to be then, but the ideas of policy making, implementation of such is very similar. The radicalness of women from the 60s compared to now, the confidence from where women previously and how that carried into social movements as of now. Topics are similar to this wave: sexuality and reproductive rights, expectations on women, the cult of domesticity in America. The previous waves had different topics that they were promoting, that they were trying to gain traction in, and currently we're not still fighting for some of these rights, but still fighting to keep upheld. There's been a lot of backtracking in a lot of these topics and can improve upon them consistently. It's never ending, The wages recorded in Soviet women's jobs during this time period are consistently low, which is a similar issue. Oh, that second one was from the Four Ways of Feminism. And this one's from women in the Soviet workforce. Low wages, which is a similar issue that women deal with today, with the wage gap. The wages of doctors were low until a raise in wage caused less women to be hired for that role. Though their valued positions were different, their wages per valued position was still similar. Saying valued positions are consistently reserved for men, and we've taken a lot of steps toward that betterment today, but it's ongoing. So, and question 7, describe the participation of women in the Soviet workforce. Women made up most of their workforce, like it's a great percentage of, especially as time went on. The percentages of both sexes in the workforce was significant, but women definitely took the cake on that one. And that's war related, that's injury related, that's value of positions related. Women are easier to hire, you can pay them less. It makes sense to do this, right? And that's partially from the textbook, partially from that text. They were obedient. The economy was really dependent on their participation. And also, convicted women would spend their sentences in the labor force. That was very interesting. Issues encountered were low wages, even as the workforce increased, the lack of childcare in advance and supportive services for them, getting roles in high responsibility because of the practicality of the work or skilled work, and because it could pay them less. Again, the doctor thing and the increase in wage was in order to exclude women from the position. So high wages, not hiring women for them. From the textbook, they made advances in education because it was seen as an advancement of communism, right? Not valued positions, but labor force for women. High participation of women in the labor force is good for capitalism. Advances were made in working conditions to improve the climate of labor force for women, which is defined in terms of economic productivity. So things to protect women in the workforce are for productivity reasons and not for the safety of or the betterment of. Interesting as well. That was 3, textbook end.